I saw this I saw Emma from Drinking by My Shelf do this, and I had to steal the idea, because why the fuck do I have all of these? Hey guys, it's Abby from Abby of Pellinor, and today I'm going to be doing the why do I have these books tag. I don't think it's actually a tag, I think Emma just did it and I'm stealing it. No shame. Also, if for some reason you're watching this, Emma, thank you for letting me steal your idea. I know I didn't ask, but it's fine. So, 1, go watch her video, it's linked down below, duh. 2, I am going to zoom out, if the camera will let me, there we go. So, well, that's my work monitor, so that you guys can see. And the shelves, most of them at least, I asked on my Instagram there for the coordinates so that I can film this. I told the people I have these 2 shelves, there's 6 down, and then pick a number for the book across the shelf. If it is, some of the shelves have less books on them than others. If it's a shelf like that, I just go around in a loop, but some of them have got a metric fuck ton of them, so we shall see. Okay, so Veronica said shelf 2, well, bookshelf 2, shelf 4, book 14. So this is 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then book 14, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we circled back around to the beginning, and we ended up with Hidden Figures by Margot Lee Shetterly. So this is a non-fiction book about mainly black women who were doing the science behind a lot of NASA's work, and who were underappreciated. It does also look at the white women computers, but this is mainly focusing on the black women computers, or just the black computers in general, because I'm sure it does mention some of the black men in here as well. The reason I have this is because the film came out, my partner was very interested in it, and I knew there was a book, so I was like, well, I'm reading the book first, and we saw it in the works, so he got me it. And then I read it, and then we still haven't seen the movie. Because we're long distance and it makes things awkward. But yes, that's why I have this, because the movie came out and I was like, I need to read this first. Next up, Alex said shelf 2, shelf 3, so 1, 2, 3, book 9, 7, 8, 9. My voice is going, and it is The Ruthless Land by A.B. Endicott. So Alice, A.B. Endicott, is one of my favourite authors. She is an Australian self-published author writing YA fantasy. All of her books so far that she's published, apart from one called Mirror Mirror, all the rest of them are in the Queendom of the Seven Lakes. No, they're in the God-Kissed Continent series. Queendom was the first book out. This book follows the 4th country. There's 4. First, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. And we follow a young girl who is going to be the matriarch of the family, so she's sent off to this boarding school to become the matriarch, and then shit goes from there. The reason that I have these is because Alice wonderfully sent me e-copies, e-books, of all of her books. Every single one, apart from Mirror Mirror, but everything in the God-Kissed Continent. And I adored them, and it was my treat to myself when I hit 400 job applications, when I was still hunting for a job. I mean, I still am, but when I was hunting for a job and unemployed. When I hit 400 applications, I was going to buy myself physical copies of the book to support Alice, and also because I really liked the books, so I wanted them on my shelves. That's why I have this one there. I hit 400. Next up is Elena, and oh, okay, so we've got bookshelf 2, shelf 3 again, this time book 4. That was nice and easy to figure out, and that is Brisingr. So this is the 3rd book in the Inheritance cycle, which is a high fantasy with loads of dragons, written by Christopher Paolini. Essentially the reason I have this is that when I was 15, a lovely friend lent me Eragon, said you're gonna love it, read it. I loved it. Hi. I don't know if you can actually see what I'm pointing at, but it's a wee Eragon shelf. And so this was purchased for me by my mother when I was 15 or 16 because I adored it, like the series, and I wanted to continue. Ta-da! This also doesn't help that these are all of my like read books. I think this would have been a little bit more fun if I had my unread books mixed in, but as you will see in another video, my current book organisation situation is interesting. Okay, why is everyone picking shelf 2? Right, no, I was doing them in number order, but I need some that's not shelf 2. Becca, I specified. So Becca from the Book Sanctum, I specified there's 2 shelves here. They all have 6 shelves on it each, and she's like 6, 5, 12. Where's shelf 6? I mean, if I go 1, 2, 3, there'll be this one. But why? But because I wanted one that wasn't on this shelf. We got mail.
You've got mail.
Because I wanted one that wasn't on this shelf, I'm going to go with the one that I found, which is Hannah from the M. She said shelf 1, well, bookshelf 1, I'm confusing my fucking self. Bookshelf 1, shelf 3, book 7. Now, shelf 3 has got books stacked upwards. However, they're all in the same series and there's loads of them. Oh, right, well, I did this, it's my own fault. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ta-da! So this is the Gladiators from Capua, I don't know, by Caroline Lawrence. This is one of the books in the Roman Mysteries series. Don't ask me which number, probably like 8 or 9 or something, I don't know. Yes, they're not in the right order, leave me alone. Does it say which one it is? No. I adore this series, the Roman Mystery series. I adored them when I was a kid, when I read some of them, and I never got to finish the series, so I'm intending on getting all of the books eventually. One day I will have them all in these covers. The reason I have this one, I actually bought this myself. Obviously most of the earlier ones my mum or other family members got me when I was younger, but I bought this one myself in a charity shop in Preston, where I went to my undergrad, because I wanted to complete the series. Back to bookshelf 2 for some reason, we've got from Thoughts of the Reader, shelf 2, shelf 5, book 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, my knees! And that is King's Cage by Victoria Aveyard. This is the 3rd book in the Red Queen series. I ended up actually being able to find all 4 books from the core of this series in the same editions, the same size, in the works at different points in time. I went in, it's like a craft/discount bookstore in the UK. And I went in at different times and I just managed to find them somehow, I don't know how. I still haven't read Warstorm, the last book. That is on my TBR shelves, in the same editions there, but yeah. These are boring. I was hoping it would be like my childhood books, like, that I didn't buy, but that's not happening. Sabrina from Wimberg Sabrina, we've got shelf 2, shelf 4, book 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 12. We've got one from my childhood that I didn't buy. So this is Just Henry by Michelle McGorian. My mum got me this. She got, ow, my hair. She got me this because I read a lot of World War II era historical fiction when I was a kid, and I read a lot of Michelle McGorian. I really like Michelle McGorian. Where's the other ones? Back Home and Goodnight Mr. Tom are some of my favourites, as well as this one. This book is just set just after World War II, and a young boy who is obsessed with going to the cinema, and we follow his life in relation to kind of how the people around him are trying to set back up again after the war, and what's happened to his dad who was killed during the war. And kind of more about his father and the impact of him on his life, as well as the amazing friends that he makes along the way. This is amazing. I adored it so much. So much. Carrie from Caring for Books, shelf 2, shelf 3, book 11. And that is King of the Seven Lakes. So there's not too much to say about this one. It's the same as the other ones. This is the 2nd book from the 2nd country. It is the direct sequel to Queen of the Seven Lakes, and I adore it. Ben from Bookish Benj picked shelf 2, shelf 5, book 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, book 3. I remember buying this. So, well, again, I didn't buy it. My mum did. A lot of the books on these shelves are either I just got them in a charity shop, or my mother bought me them. There are other ones. I thought this was going to be more fun. Leave me the fuck alone. This one, I remember being at Waterstones. It's a weirdly specific memory. It's moved in the Metro Centre now, but where Waterstones used to be in the Metro Centre, which is the biggest shopping centre in the UK, it's like down the road from me. And this was just sat there, and it looked really cool, and it's like this exclusive thing, and yes, I've still got the stickers on, leave me the fuck alone. And when you take the dust jacket off, I mean, like, underneath the dust jacket it's exactly the same, which is interesting. We don't get that too often. But on the dust jacket, you think, oh, it should, what is the, oh, look, hey, it's the alethiometer. This was so cool. I loved this so much. And I used to sit there, and when I was reading the book, like, sit and look at the different options on the alethiometer and try and figure out if I would be able to, like, read something or ask a correct question with putting the dials to the correct spot. It was great. I loved it. One day I will get myself an alethiometer. So this doesn't match my other editions from the His Dark Materials series, but you think I'm getting rid of it? No, it's an adorable little hardback, which seems to have deckled edges. Okay, and then I've done loads, so I'm going to do one more from the Little Viking Reader. They said shelf 2, shelf 5, book 10. I'm going to cheat. Leave me alone. So book 10 is this one, Orphan Monster Spy by Matt Colleen. This is a book about a Jewish girl who ends up being a spy in a Nazi German boarding school because she looks very Aryan. It follows on from there. The reason I'm cheating is because I'm actually going to talk about this, which is book 11, but leave me alone. Is it book 11? Yes. And this I'm going to talk about, it's the sequel, so I won't say anything about it, but it was gifted to me by the wonderful Alex from Alex Black Reads. This is just, it was such a lovely gift to get. It was a couple Christmases ago, and she knew how much I adored Orphan Monster Spy. We both really liked it, so she gifted me this, and I was like through the roof ecstatic. So, of course, I had to mention this one. So that's how I got this one. And I am going to stop there. Thank you so much for everybody on my Instagram who did submit coordinates for me. If you want to follow my Instagram, it's always linked down below. It's just Abby of Pellinor. This was a lot of fun. I know that it could have been a bit more interesting when there's some books on my TBR that I hadn't read, but just for how my life is set up, I felt that this was a little bit more, a little bit easier. So yes, let me know if you guys have read any of these books down below in the comments, and thank you so much for watching to the end. If you've gotten this far, put the emoji for a stack of books, because we've talked about a metric fuck ton of stacks of books here. So put that emoji down in the comments, and if you have gotten this far, why not like the video and subscribe? You've made it this far, I clearly vaguely entertained you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!